you're wondering what's on my TV in the background, that's Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. Just bear that in mind. I just have things in my background from now on. I think it looks better that way. But we're talking about this comic I bought. Because if you saw my video on my main channel, Why I'm Disappointed in Stranger Things, I said I wanted to start checking out some of the comics and books to hopefully reinvigorate my love for Stranger Things, because I've just fallen out of love with the show. But maybe they're better in books and comic form. So I had the money to buy this book on Amazon. It's about $9. Stranger Things Zombie Boys. And I believe all these comics are canon, because a lot of them take place in between season 1 and 2 and explore some of the details that were not explored because of each season jumps a year. So there were a lot of things with Will, and also there's comics that go into Will's time in the Upside Down, which we didn't see a lot of in the show. We don't know much about, and so you get to see that in comic form, from what I understand. I haven't read these comics. This is the only comic or book I've actually read, so I don't know too much about them. I'm looking forward to check out more. I will say this is a rough start. It's okay. It's a fine read. It's a very quick read. It's like, 40 pages? It took me about 20 minutes to read. Just 20 minutes. It's not that expensive. Like I said, I got this for like $8 or $9 off of Amazon. I think it was like $9 counting tax. And it's a full story about Will dealing with the events after the first season. Everyone, was calling him a zombie boy because he returned from the Upside Down, and he draws this picture, and this kid Joey finds it, and he ends up teaming up with the boys to film a Night of the Living Dead style horror movie with the kids dressed up as zombies. So it isn't what I thought it would be. I actually thought this was going to be like a fake story in the universe of Stranger Things, where all the kids turn into zombies, and I don't know. I thought that was what this was going to be, but it was not that. It's an enjoyable story. I will say the dialogue does not feel like it would the stuff that these kids would actually say in the show. It's a little too censored, because in the show these kids, they swear a lot more and stuff, because of the that's just how kids talk, and that's why it's written like that. And in this comic, it's not written that way. It's weird, because they do actually swear a couple times in the book, but not that much. It feels a little bit more kiddie in its dialogue and things like that, which is weird, because this is not a kid show at all. It's an older teen and adult show, really, in the vein of X-Files and things like that, stuff like that. But it is kind of also really strange, because they hang out with this kid Joey, which he's not in the actual show. So if this were to be canon, why would they not hang out with this kid or ever mention him? I get you could just take this as a one-off random story that doesn't have any bearing off the show. It can be enjoyable, and I did find some enjoyment. It's okay. I don't know if I'll ever read this again, because it is a really quick read, but there's nothing to it. There's not much substance here to the actual story and presentation here. It's just, I think the artwork here is fine enough, and kind of the idea here is Will coming to grips with the fact that him and his friends all coming to the grips with that last year when Will went to Upside Down and came back, it was a very horrific thing and scarred a lot of them, and them kind of dealing with their feelings about this stuff, which is kind of it doesn't really make that much sense, because they deal with it a lot more in season 2. So, like I said, if you take this as a one-off story where the kids just film a movie, Night of the Living Dead style. I think it works out okay, and I enjoyed it. And it actually reminds me of a lot of things me and Parker do. We get together with friends and we film movies. We're not good at it. We don't have money and fancy editing and stuff like that, but we just do it because it's fun. And that's kind of what they're doing here. And I think I guess that gave me an extra level of enjoyment and just reminded me of things about that. It's a very nice paperback. There is no hardcover edition of this. Otherwise, I probably would have bought a hardcover. Like I said, the artwork's very nice. You can kind of, let me go over some of the pages in here so you can kind of give an idea what the book looks like. Some of the drawings. So yeah, there's the book. So if you've read this book, let me know. And if you're interested in reading the book, let me know too. Because, I didn't know anything about this. But I enjoyed it. So